Welcome to practice. The flow this week is a lot of twisting and rinsing, building off of the side body extension that we were exploring last week. So hopefully you can feel that progression of how the space that we make through the front and side body allows us a deeper rotation. And in terms of a heart space offering, thinking about milestones and thresholds and how these are so shaping of our human experience, right? These markers of time and transitions, right? I think oftentimes we kind of qualify our life in terms of achievements, but when we take like a little bit of a zoom out, we realize that each achievement that we have is preceded by a transition, a threshold, this moving through something to arrive, right? And so much of our life is the journey, and then we have these moments, right? And I think the moments get that glory, right? But the process is what brings us to those moments. And on our yoga mats, I think there's this invitation to really lean into process, to lean into the journey, the destination being just a product of that commitment to showing up and being curious and the exploration along the way. So as we twist and as we rinse, can we be really curious about just the process? Twisting and rinsing is also this invitation of letting go and releasing and making space. And that letting go and releasing and making space is often a key component for creating the room for what's to come, right? So that we can welcome whatever the universe has in store for us next in the next chapter. So with that, let's start just in a seated meditation, if that feels okay for you this morning, whether that's on the support of a block or on the earth, cross-legged or in heroes, whatever feels grounding for you right now. And then just take a moment to settle in. Let your eyes soften shut. As you find a deep inhale, grow tall through your heart and the crown of your head. As that exhale empties out and sighs away, feel a softening travel down through your body, a softening through your nervous system. As you begin to arrive into your practice. Let each cycle of breath welcome you into the supported space of your yoga practice. This lifelong yoga journey that we are on. And as you deepen your breath, just feel the deepening into this moment right here and right now. Begin to tune in to the more subtle sensations or sounds that are present. Begin to feel the quality, the texture of your breath. And through this process of noticing, and to notice what is present, the space of your heart. Maybe you're in the midst of a transition. Maybe you feel like you're very much just in the middle of a very long path. Maybe you have arrived at a milestone, a threshold recently. Let's take a moment to tune in and check in. Noticing how your emotional, energetic body feels, what that inner climate is like, the inner landscape, the weather inside. And just check in through this noticing. We practice introspection and reflection. These tools that help us to come into deeper understanding of ourselves, our path, and also the world that we are wandering through. And just taking these few moments to bring awareness to the space can change the tone of the day, the trajectory of this day. And so beginning from this mindful place, we'll embark on our journey across our yoga mats. And so we'll start with maybe a couple of cleansing breaths if you'd like to join. And if it feels true for you, perhaps your hands come to heart center. And when you're ready, just fill up with a nice full inhale. And then an open mouth exhale to release. And then taking 2 more cycles, a deep, expansive breath in. And then a cleansing, clearing exhale out. And 1 more round, a deep, expansive inhale. And then just drop the exhale, let it go. As you shift into your Ujjayi breath, breathing with intention in and out of your nose. Maybe you incorporate that slight constriction at the back of your throat, giving your breath an ocean-like quality. And then begin to slowly shift towards your tabletop. So you find tabletop, shoulders over wrists, hips over your knees. Just begin to find some fluid movement here. Maybe going side to side with your hips to start. Might shift forwards and backwards. You might take some circles, see your ribs. Maybe check in with your neck, your cervical spine. And continue to feel into your breath. Ujjayi inhale. And Ujjayi exhale. Perhaps you flip your fingertips to face your knees to offer a stretch to your forearms, leaning back any amount. As you kind of finish up with any movement that you're exploring, we'll meet back in our tabletop pose. And together, let's inhale to a cow shape. Lift your heart, lift your tailbone, maybe find that slight lift of your chin. And then leading from your tailbone, exhale to your cat pose, tuck, press, and curl. Chin to chest. As you round through your spine, feel your low belly strength activate. We'll find our way back into our neutral tabletop. As you start to strengthen through your center, reach your right hand forward out in front of you. And then send your left leg back into your spinal balance. As opposites extend, get really rooted into the earth. Take a nice big breath. And then exhale, we'll draw elbow and knee together. Notice if you lean way far back, can you stay relatively centered in that tabletop position as you tuck in? And then follow your in-breath to re-extend. Go twice more on this side. Exhale, press, curl. Front ribs draw in as elbow and knee come together. And then use your entire inhale for a slow, controlled lengthening. Last cycle, exhale, curl, contract. Root into the earth. And then inhale to reach. Good. As you breathe out, right hand's going to come down to your yoga mat. Go ahead and tuck your left knee behind your right. Split your shins open wide. You walk your hands back into this Gomukhasana variation just for a breath or so. Right knee lifting off the earth, hips may be hovering and pressing back in space. You can take a little wiggle here. And then we'll just shift forward, going back into our tabletop to find our second side. And before you extend your limbs, get strong at your center. And then reach your left hand forward. As you're ready, extend your right leg back. Take a deep breath in. And use your exhale to push, curl, crunch. Think about drawing up away from the earth towards the sky. And then inhale for that slow extension. 2 more with control. Exhale, push, rounding up and away from the earth. Tuck in tight. And find that slow reach with your breath in. Good. Last time here. Exhale, curl, round, push into the earth. Kick down with your left leg. And then inhale to find your length. Breath out brings left hand to the ground. Tuck your right knee behind your left. Split your shins open. And then send your hips to that space between Gomukhasana variation. As your left knee floats off the earth, you can take a little wiggle here, hips side to side. And find just a slow breath. As you're ready to transition out of this Gomukhasana variation, shift forward through your tabletop once again. Step into your high plank with an inhale. And then as you exhale, soften your knees and press your pelvis back to downward facing dog. Take a slow paddle, reaching one heel to the earth, and then the other. Then bring your feet to more about hips distance apart, spiking your heels high, rotate all 10 toes to the left. Press your hips up and back, feeling the stretch to the outside of your left leg. Breathe through center and just switch your toes all the way over to the right. You press your hips up and back, feel the stretch through your outer right leg. And inhale through center. With your exhale, take a little walk to your forward fold, top of the mat. As you arrive in Uttanasana, soften your knees and dive heavy to your thighs. Relax the weight of your head. Option to catch your elbows for ragdoll. Let's take a sway from side to side. And with softness in your knees as you release your arms, take a big breath in to lift up halfway. Ardha Uttanasana, really root into your feet, reach length through your spine. And exhale to forward fold, let it go. With softness in your knees, you're going to roll to rise as you breathe in, taking your time to stack up tall along your spine. The top, exhale through a big elbow circle into your goddess arms. Feel the openness at your heart, and then breathe in and reach high, Urdhva Hastasana. With your exhale, soften your knees and tip forward to the earth, forward fold. Breathing into your halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Think about leaning slightly forward as you lengthen. We'll exhale to our high plank position, step back. And take a moment to think about creating that upward energy in your body, buoyancy. So similar to what we did in those little elbow to knee contractions from our tabletop, can we push into the earth to make space for our core connection? And keeping that engagement, that buoyancy, we inhale to slide forward. Knees up or knees down, we exhale with control all the way to the earth, trying to keep our heads in line with the spine as we lower. When you arrive, find the untucking of your toes so you can anchor through the tops of your feet. Breath into your low cobra. Peel your heart away from the earth. And on your exhale, release. With your next breath in, either low or maybe high cobra, listening to your body and following your breath into your heart opening. And on your exhale, lower right back down. Okay, last round, low cobra, high cobra, perhaps your upward facing dog. Let your inhale lift you. And then as you're ready, exhale to downward facing dog. Take any path to find your way there. As you're back in down dog, just take a little pedal through your feet. A big push through your arms. We'll inhale, right leg to the sky, three-legged dog. And your exhale, bend your knee and open your hip. Think about gently pressing your hips to the right side of the room. Square your right shoulder down to the earth. And think about reaching your right toes to the left side of the room. So there's this big hug to the midline of the body. With an inhale, three-legged dog, re-extend your right leg and square your hip. Exhale, right knee towards your left tricep, shift forward and twist. Pushing into the earth as you pull front ribs in. Three-legged dog, reach your right leg high with your breath and step your right foot forward to the top. Let your left knee tap down to the ground with an inhale. Just invite your heart forward for a moment. And as we exhale, we'll shift back into a half split. Go ahead and lengthen your right leg, maybe crawl your hands back. You can always grab yoga blocks as well. Here you might flex and point through your right toes for a moment, just getting some movement through your right ankle. And then let's find a flex of right toes towards the body. Maybe there's a little micro bend or a big bend through your right knee, but can you think about gently dragging your right heel back as you invite your heart forward? We'll start to bend into our front knee. Tuck your back toes, and as you lift your back knee, get really strong in your legs for your high crescent lunge. Your next inhale brings you all the way up, high crescent. Maybe adding a little bit of a back bend, heart lift at the top. And as we exhale, we're going to bring hands all the way back to the earth or blocks. Gentle standing splits. Reach your left leg towards the sky. Feel free to maintain a bend through your right knee, little or big. Your head be heavy as you take a breath. And soften both of your knees and step into your cross-legged forward fold, left ankle behind your right. Pinky toes don't need to line up. Make sure there's a little micro bend at least to your left knee, the back knee. And let your head dive heavy for a moment. As you unwind your legs, find a traditional forward fold. Softening through your knees, right hand's going to come to the earth beneath your face or to a yoga block. We're going to twist to the left, reach your left hand high. Begin to bend your right knee, maybe lengthen your left leg. Nice full breath in. Both knees will soften as you fold through center, breath out. Switching sides, left hand to the earth. Bend into your left knee and peel open to the right. Maybe add some extension to your right leg. Use your left hand on the earth as leverage to twist your heart towards the ceiling. And then both knees bend as we melt forward, forward fold. Take a halfway lift to reset at your center. As you exhale and fold, keep your left foot forward and step your right foot back. Finding a twisted low lunge, let's reach left hand forward first as we take a big breath in. And your exhale, swim your left hand to the sky. Make sure your feet are hips distance apart, getting strong through your legs. We're going to rise all the way up into our exalted crescent. So keeping the twist to the left. As you inhale, scoop your right hand up to the sky. Left hand can either find your right hamstring or just reach back in space. Feeling that lengthening through the front line on your right side. Give this one more inhale. And then as you exhale, windmill your hands back down to your low lunge. Step into your high plank. Left foot meets your right. You have a little add-on here if you'd like. You can stay in your plank, knees up or down. Or inhale, knees to a hover, crouching tabletop. Push your hips to your heels. As you exhale, bring your right knee to your left tricep, shifting forward, shoulders over wrists. Good, we step back and crouch back as we inhale, crouching tabletop. We'll find second side, left knee to right tricep as you push yourself forward. Right leg stays strong. Okay, step back and crouch back, breath in. And your exhale, either down dog or chaturanga. Maybe shift forward and through your flow. You have the option to skip. Or maybe explore a different combination of shapes. And we'll gather back together in our downward facing dog. Maybe take a cleansing breath when you arrive. And begin to send your left leg to the sky with your next breath. Bend your knee and open your hip. Let's explore squaring your shoulders to the earth. Think right hip presses to the left side of the room. Left toes reach to the right side of the room. Maybe hug an imaginary block between your upper arm bones. Follow an inhale to re-extend, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee, right tricep, slow and strong. Three-legged dog as you inhale, lengthen up and back. And exhale to step your left foot forward. Tap your right knee down to the ground and pull your heart forward just for a moment. And then we'll shift back into our half split. Feel free to adjust here. You can always move your left foot further forward if you need to. Remember, your left knee can be bent. Back toes tucked or untucked, so finding all those customizations. Maybe you point and flex your ankle for a moment. Let's flex left toes towards us. And gently think left heel drives back and heart reaches forward. Okay. From here, we're going to climb our way into our high crescent lunge. We'll bend into your front knee. So elevate your back knee off the ground, strong legs. Inhale carries you all the way up high crescent. Perhaps that tilt of your sternum to the sky, maybe you look up. Exhaling towards your standing splits. You can always find a little balance moment along the way in the transition. Your head fall heavy to the earth. Any bend through your left knee. Strength through your right leg, breath in. On breath out, we bend both knees and find our cross-legged forward fold, right ankle behind your left. Soften through your knees, dive down. Really try to relax your upper body heavy to your lower body. Finding one inhale. All four corners of both feet are grounded as we soften maybe a little more with exhale. Then unwind your legs. This round we'll go right into our halfway lift, breath in. And as you exhale and fold, right foot stays forward, step your left foot back. Breathe your right hand to the front of the room, big reach, finding length, and as you exhale, twist, turning to your right. Okay, energize your legs, get light through your left hand. Use an in-breath to scoop up to your exalted crescent. Heart twisted to the right side of the room. Left leg is strong, left glute is strong. And for this round, we're just going to windmill back down into our low lunge. Step into your high plank. Option for crouching tabletop as you breathe in. Knees hover, hips towards heels, shoulders out of ears. With your exhale, bring your left knee to your right tricep. Shift forward. Keep your shoulders out of your ears. Step back and shift back as you take a breath. Maybe right knee, left tricep. Shift forward. Step back, shift back, big breath in. Then you decide chaturanga or downward facing dog with your exhale leading you into your transition. Once again, as you arrive at down dog, resetting with a breath, take a deep inhale through your nose. And then open mouth, exhale, let it go. And we'll inhale right leg to the sky, three-legged dog. And your exhale, bend your knee, open your hip. Maybe let your heart twist open to the right this time, feeling the difference, looking underneath your right armpit. We'll re-extend a three-legged dog as we inhale. Right knee, left tricep on our exhale. Hold for your breath in. Can you draw a little tighter up and in as you stay for exhale out? Then three-legged dog, reach your right leg to the sky. With your exhale, place your right foot forward. Rise to your fingertips, maybe hands to blocks. We inhale to a cow lunge, this time left knee just dips to a hover. Drawing in through your inner thighs, strong glutes. Exhale, cat lunge, lengthen your legs any amount, dive forward. High crescent lunge, bend into your front knee and breathe all the way up. And with your exhale, we're going to standing splits. Maybe finding a little balance moment along the way. If you need more challenge, hands can stay lifted or catch your right ankle. Otherwise, hands to the earth or blocks. Take an inhale. We exhale, Shiva squat. Think about pressing weight back into right heel as you lower. So think right knee presses back. And then drive through your right heel to re-extend. Gentle standing splits with your breath. We'll go twice more, or you can always hold the split, letting your exhale bring you down. Inhale to open. Hips can be open or square. And then one more cycle of breath here, whether that's finding your Shiva squat. So you exhale, your standing split as you breathe in. And with our out breath, let's bend both knees. Really mindfully step into your forward fold. Inhale to lengthen halfway. As you exhale and fold, keep your left foot forward, step your right foot back. Make sure your feet are hips distance apart. Extend your left hand in front of you as you take an inhale. Find your twist to the left, swim left hand to the sky as you exhale. Next breath in is our exalted crescent, just like before. Right hand's gonna scoop up the sky. Good. This time we're going into our prayer twist. So take your right elbow to the outside of your left thigh. Palms come together. Okay. Back leg is strong and lifted. Press elbow into thigh to create some space energetically between your chest and your left leg. You always have the option to bring your right knee down to the ground. But if your right leg is lifted, make sure it's really active and strong. Back knee up or down. We're going to take a big push to find crescent lunge through center. Anjaneyasana, again, high or low crescent as you inhale. And then with your exhale, go ahead and dive your heart forward, shifting into airplane pose just for a breath. Take a slow breath in and a slow exhale. Now let your hands reach down to the earth from your airplane and just bend your left knee to bring yourself down into a low lunge, like you're riding an elevator, nice and slow and controlled to the earth. Hands planted down into the ground. You're stepping into a high plank. We have a little different variation this time. As we inhale, we'll take the crouching tabletop. That's optional. Feel free to skip it. On exhale, we're going to go right knee to left tricep, shift forward, twist. Listen, from here, we're turning to the right for a side plank, so right leg is open. You can keep it lifted, maybe to a tree, or extend your right leg. You could take a regular side plank. Your right hand is high, left side is your base. You could always take a modified side plank, that supported side plank with your left knee on the earth. Keeping your hips high, slowly come back to high plank at center. And press back to downward facing. From your downward facing dog, walk your feet a little bit forward and then about as wide as your yoga mat. So it's kind of like a short, wide down dog or like a long, wide forward fold. Knees can be bent here. We're going to take our left hand and catch the outside of our right ankle. Let your head be heavy. And bend your left elbow and pull your heart underneath your right armpit. Push through your right hand, press your sitting bones back in space. And then we'll just switch sides. Reach your left hand forward. Right hand crosses underneath to catch left ankle. Relax your head. As you bend your right elbow, pull yourself underneath your left armpit. And again, push your hips back in space energetically. And go ahead and unwind and return to downward facing dog. I'll take an inhale to lift left leg to the sky, three-legged. As you exhale, bend your knee, open your hip. Again, maybe this time you kind of twist underneath your left armpit, letting your right shoulder drop. Just feeling the difference between this and the first three-legged dog variation that we took. We'll breathe back into three-legged extend. Left knee, right tricep, breath out. Hold for your inhale. Try to feel the strength of your left side body, maybe activating a little bit more with exhale. And then three-legged dog, re-extend. Step your left foot forward to the front. Take your cow lunge as you gather a breath in. Dip your right knee to a hover. Activate your inner thighs and your glutes. And then exhale, cat lunge, extend, and dive forward. When you are ready, high crescent, bend into your front knee and breathe your way all the way up. On your breath out, you're taking your slow journey to standing splits again, enjoying the process, being in the journey itself, the spaces between thresholds and milestones, and the little moments between point A and point B. You can hold or take an inhale. Maybe your exhale is a Shiva squat. Really think about sending your left shin bone back in space to load the energy into your left heel. And then root to reach with your breath in towards your standing splits. Hips can be opened or closed, making sure you're listening to your left hamstring. 2 more cycles if you'd like. Exhale to lower. Press and inhale to lengthen. And 1 more cycle of breath in movement or stillness, your choice. We inhale. We'll exhale to our forward fold, so softening both your knees with care. Right foot to the earth. Take a little wiggle and a halfway lift as you breathe in. And breath out as you dive forward. Step your left foot back, feet hips distance, low lunge. Right foot is forward. We reach our right hand forward as we take a breath. Super strong legs. Exhale to twist, right hand to the sky. Breathe in to find your exalted crescent. Rise tall. Super strong to the midline to support the spine. Exhale to your prayer twist. You can't really tell because of my baggy sweatpants, but my left leg is like very actively lifted. I know it looks like my back knee's really bent, but left leg's actively lifted. Or we're making the conscious choice to bring left knee to the earth. Can we use the connection of left elbow and right thigh to press and create more upward energy through our bodies? Drive your right heel into the earth, think buoyant booty, and take a breath. Moving through Anjaneyasana, so back knee can be up or down. We're going to inhale through center, lift through your heart and hands. You could find your airplane lunge or your airplane pose. So you bring your heart forward. So maybe you keep your back knee or back toes in the ground. Maybe you shift forward for a moment of flight. From wherever you are, we're going to ride the elevator down to our low lunge. Slower than I just did, hands to the earth. Okay, we'll step back into our high plank. Right foot meets your left. You have that second side here, so you can hold your plank, knees up or down. Maybe incorporate that crouching tabletop as you bend your knees, gather in a breath. With exhale, it is left knee to your right tricep first. Cross underneath. Now we're going to the left, so start to look to the left and open up to your side, plank Vashisthasana. Any variation here. You could also step into a wild thing if you want to. Maybe your right knee comes to the earth. Maybe you lift your left leg. Think about using your core to keep your hips high, push into the earth. We stay buoyant as we find high plank at center. Take an inhale and down dog as you exhale. Okay, from your downward facing dog, big breath in, lift your heels. Your exhale, forward fold, step or hop to the top of your yoga mat. Soften for a second. And then let's take a gorilla pose. So bring your hands underneath the soles of your feet. So your toes are at your wrists. Give yourself a little massage here with your toes. Maybe inhale, find some length through your spine as you exhale. You can bend through your elbows and dive down. If you don't love gorilla, you could also catch your big toes with your peace fingers and pull your elbows wide. As your elbows bend and pull wide, you're drawing your chest to your thighs. After you feel complete here, just letting go of any hand to foot connection that you have, slowly start to roll up your spine all the way to standing. Head stays heavy for the journey. When you arrive at the top, maybe a big elbow circle or a shoulder shrug, however you like to open, and then hands to heart center. Now, I have a couple little balance moments next. I'm going to do kind of 2 balance progressions on each side. And that'll take us into like our little deep stretching exploration. So from standing, hands at heart or wherever you prefer for stability. Take a nice big breath in. On our exhale, we're going to sink back into a chair pose. Okay, once you have your chair, inhale to lengthen from your crown to your tailbone. And then exhale, let's twist to the right first. So we're going to turn to the right, left elbow hooks outer right thigh. And from here, look down at the ground in front of your yoga mat. Press into your feet, pull your front ribs to the back of your body. You're going to lean over to your right foot a lot and just start by coming to your left tippy toes. Keep looking at the ground in front of your yoga mat. When you're ready, just start with a little airplane, or rather a flamingo of your left heel to your seat. Then you're going to airplane your left leg back. Okay. From this prayer twisted airplane, you can stay, you can land your left toes to the prayer twisted lunge, or you can push into an airplane pose from there. We're all going to meet in a high crescent eventually. So whether you're in the prayer twisted lunge, the prayer twisted airplane, or an airplane, eventually left toes will land if they are lifted. Take a big breath in, reach to the sky. On your exhale, hands come down to the earth. Let's just find length through both legs for a second little hamstring stretch. Okay, well, you take an extra breath here. If you wanted to peek up at the camera, I know I've said keep looking down at the ground. If you want to just watch for a second so you know what we just did, if you were a little confused, just from verbal cues: prayer twist, chair, flamingo. Ooh, keep looking down when you're in it, airplane leg. Again, from here you can go to the lunge, prayer twisted lunge, or big push to that standing leg, and you'll fly into your airplane. Okay, so from your hamstring stretch, go ahead and bend into your front knee and just step forward to a forward fold. Take a little wiggle, and then we'll slowly rise to stand. You could do a circle sweep, you can roll up again, whatever feels good. Okay, we're going to do a little moment on our right side, and then we'll take everything on second side. So from here, shift your weight into your left foot. Bring your right knee up into your one-legged mountain. This is going to help as a little counterbalance. We'll figure 4 right ankle on left thigh. Sitting back into your one-legged chair, any depth. Let's take a slow breath in and a slow exhale. Feel free to spend a little extra time in this figure 4 stretch, and that should feel really nice after that big standing balance moment, or just even the prayer twisted lunge. When you're ready, you're going to rise back through your one-legged mountain, flying through your airplane just for a moment. Like we did before, we're going to reach our hands to the earth and ride the elevator down into our low lunge. Okay. Heel toe your left foot wide to the left side of your yoga mat for your lizard lunge. Release your right knee to the ground. And start square, so keep your left toes forward to begin, heart forward. Maybe bend your right heel towards your seat, flexing through your ankle, little hamstring curl. Square lizard lunge, the big quad stretch if that works for your body. From there, if you want to find the more open and twisty version, you could turn your left toes to the left. Maybe let your left knee kind of spill wide. And if you're twisting, you're turning to the left. Perhaps the left hand reaches back towards or to your right foot. You can let your left big toe peel off the earth. You're on the pinky edge of your left foot if you'd like. Just finding the lizard lunge here that feels good for you. Maybe wiggle around a little bit. Then as we release from here, we're going to be moving towards a wider half split. You could also explore your full splits, but if you want to stay in the lizard lunge, this is a great place to stay. Otherwise, we'll bring our hands to the inside of our left foot. This might feel like a little more spacious than when we have our left foot hips distance, yes? You're going to scooch your booty back and lengthen your left legs in this wide half split. And you can kind of wiggle around. If you want to, you can start to slide your left leg forward for your full splits. Again, wider is typically a little bit more accessible. And then as we bring the legs hips distance, when we're in that true split, it gets usually a little stickier, a little more honest with our hamstring flexibility. So any sort of split or lizard lunge, just take 2 more breaths. And then we're going to take that whole journey on the second side. So from wherever you are, you're going to kind of ease your way out. There's not usually a graceful way to get out of these. If you can find that, that's great. But we're going to meet back in our lizard lunge. Yes. So left foot is on the outside edge of the yoga mat. Hands are on the inside of left foot. As you lift your back knee, We're going to lean forward and find a malasana squat. You can either mindfully use your muscular strength. If you want to give yourself a little boost, you can bend your right knee and take a little boost forward, however you want to arrive. Toes turning slightly out, heels in, malasana squat. Now, I taught malasana last night in class, and I noticed a lot of this, like we're just like sagging. So let's see how it feels to find a tall spine. Good. And then press into your feet and lift like 1 to 2 inches out of your greatest like flexibility range of motion. Feel things light up and take a breath there. Okay, we're going to transition just to a little forward fold here. So feet can stay wide, just turn your toes forward and boost your booty to the sky. Tick-tock your hips a little left to right. If you want to find a twist like we did earlier, left hand to the earth, right hand to the sky, bend your left knee. Maybe a wrist swirl of your right wrist, and then just switch it out. Right hand goes to the ground, left hand lifts to the sky, and as you twist to the left, bend your right knee. Maybe wrist swirl to the left. Yeah. Softening that away as you're ready, find your forward fold, adjust your feet to center, and then rise up to stand Urdhva Hastasana, however you want to get there. Cool. We're going to go hands to heart. Find your chair, Utkatasana, and we twist to the left this time. As you twist to the left, right elbow hooks to your outer left thigh. Good. And then my booty is low, but I'm actually really pulling into my front line, so it almost looks like I'm kind of rounded through my spine, but I'm just really engaging my core to the point where my low back feels absolutely supported. We'll look down at the earth, and as we come to shift our energy into left foot, maybe start with your right tippy toes. It's going to test the waters. Shoulders are out of ears. When you're ready, maybe flamingo your right heel up and in. Core is strong, maybe airplane your right leg back in space. Then you can stay here. You can find your prayer twisted lunge. Or maybe with a big breath in, you push through your left foot and really slowly and mindfully take a moment in your airplane pose. Okay. Whenever you're ready, we meet in a crescent lunge. Right toes land if they are lifted. Take a breath in, reach tall. And exhale, hands to the earth. A little hamstring stretch. Extend your left leg. Wiggle around for a breath or two. Hopefully that second side felt more clear, at least in what you were choosing to say yes or no to in those options. Bend your front knee, step forward, forward fold. Ooh, I wish we had 90 minutes this morning, but we do not. We're going to rise up to our Urdhva Hastasana as you're ready. And then hands find heart center, or again, wherever you like your hands for your standing balance. Shift your weight into your right foot. Lift your left knee into one-legged mountain. And then we'll make our way into our figure 4 stretch. You can take any figure 4 here. I like to bring my forearms to my left shin bone. I think that's sometimes just out of laziness. But wherever we are, can we think about elongating through the spine, shoulders out of ears, collarbones nice and wide across the space of the heart. And if you like this stretch, this can be like, I feel this is like a fan favorite often, is any sort of figure 4. So you can linger here. Otherwise, we'll rise up with a breath in. We're just going to travel through our airplane pose, exhale to fly back for a moment. And like you're riding an elevator, just reach your hands to the ground and bend your right knee to deliver yourself into your low lunge. Heel toe your right foot wide, lizard, and lower your left knee to the earth. Going to be starting square. You might hug your right knee into your right upper arm, so you really find that inner thigh energy. And then maybe flex your left heel and hamstring curl left heel to your seat. This big active hip flexor stretch. So when we're going into things like splits, oftentimes we think just about the hamstring space that is required. But for the back leg in a split, there's a lot of space needed through the front of the pelvis as well. Now, if you want to take that more open or twisty lizard lunge, so again, you can turn your right toes to the right. Maybe let your right thigh bone fall open as you roll onto the pinky edge of your right foot. You can swim your right hand back as you twist to the right side of the room, seeing what feels good for you. As you explore here in your body, now that you know where we're headed, so any version of your splits, maybe that wide half split, maybe like a true split, or maybe you stay here in lizard if you like this shape better for today. So just listening to your body in this moment today, what feels right for you. If you want to go to the wide half splits, hands come on the inside of your right foot, and you'll start to shift your hips back as you lengthen your right leg. And you can bring it back to the square hips, half splits, Ardha Hanumanasana. You can slide your right leg forward, your Hanumanasana. And whatever is feeling good for you today. Wiggle around, see how things feel. And take maybe 2 to 3 breaths. Then we're going to transition and lay down. When you're starting to feel complete, right? Whatever shape you're in, let's just scoot your way back into lizard lunge. Okay? And then as you lift your back knee, you can step forward through your malasana. Take your time in these transitions. In your malasana, proud chest. Option for a twist, maybe your left hand goes low as you twist your right hand to the sky and open your heart. And if you took the twist, switching sides, right arm on the inside of your right leg, left hand goes up. As you release the center, having a seat, maybe no hands, maybe use your hands, booty to the earth. Okay. And then just take a breath in and lay backwards on your exhale. With your knees bent, place your feet to the earth and find a few windshield wipers side to side. Feet can go about yoga mat's distance apart for your windshield wipers as you tick-tock your knees from left to right. After a few windshield wipers, adjusting to center, bring the soles of your feet together, let your knees fall open wide. Maybe offer a hand to your belly and a hand to your heart. If it feels safe to close down your eyes here, soften your eyes shut. Let your awareness go a little bit deeper inward once again. Maybe starting at the level of subtle sensation and sound. Maybe you continue to the level of thoughts, the space of your mind. So noticing and observing. Let your focus go even deeper to the level of your heart. As you tune in at the level of your heart, you listen for any whispers from your heart space. Anything that your practice is revealing to you today, this morning. As you feel your breath and your heartbeat, points of connection between your body and the earth. Take a moment to ask yourself if there is a final shape, a final movement that your body is craving before you arrive in Shavasana. Maybe you stay here for a couple extra breaths in your butterfly. Maybe there's a different shape or movement, a twist, a hip opening, a heart opening, an inversion, something that calls to you. And you just trust in the guidance of your own inner teacher. Travel through and take what you need. And to eventually find your way into stillness as you're ready. And you do sink and settle into your Shavasana. Eyes closed, bones heavy. If it would feel good to take one more cleansing breath, you can gather a deep inhale in through your nose. And find an open mouth exhale to let go. As you rest and as you receive, we acknowledge that any achievement, any milestone, any threshold is preceded by a journey. It's the journey, the process, which gives those milestones, those moments, those thresholds and accomplishments their meaning. And so if you're deep in a process, or if you're in a transition, know that it is an essential ingredient. We can't bypass it. But you can welcome it and all the challenges, all the hurdles, the obstacles that it brings with it. Trusting in the expansion and the strength and the growth that comes through moving through. Take these last few minutes just to be and to breathe with curiosity. And then I'll guide you out when we're ready to close our practice. Let's take a nice deep breath in. And then exhale, sigh that breath out, let it go. And you let yourself maybe sink a little bit deeper into the support below. And as you feel the earth beneath you, maybe one or both of your hands arrive at heart center. Gathering your awareness, the space of your heart, as you pause for a moment in the deepest gratitude of this practice. an acknowledgement of our bodies and our breath that carry us through each and every moment. And gratitude for the opportunity to come together each week to move and to breathe and to connect. Just taking one more deep inhale through your nose, fill up to the top. And when you're ready, an exhale to release. May yoga always provide us a path to compassion. May our practices serve as our teachers, and guiding us to live with greater and greater authenticity and to love more deeply each and every day. Thank you so much for showing up and taking this time, and namaste.